Oh, hello, and welcome to another one line of code. I'm indivisible. I, I, I'm flickering in and out of existence. Hello, and welcome to another one line of code. I am one lion. Hello, indivisible. Anyway, hi. It's Monday. Happy Monday to you. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I am just keeping myself busy as always. Just trying to get work done, which we will be doing soon. Invisible. Invisible. Got it. Nailed it. Anyway, boats. I like boats. They go places. Yeah, we have been working on implementing the UI for the redesign of the stream project, which is the financial management tracker. You can check it out on GitHub. It is there. I'm going to have to update that message sooner or later because we will be updating it to .NET 8. Same thing with that message there. Let me make sure everything is up and running. The bot does not have a loaded model. So load. But the rest of it is up and running. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten the project URL. Cool. So everything should be ready to go. Oi, wake up. No, don't start. No. Don't start talking for me, Automated Realms. Not yet. You need to get better first. Trying to spoof me. How dare. Okay, so anyway, what we've done over the past, I don't know, 2,000 streams, feels like, was put together the landing page and make a new design of it. And what we have been doing over the past 3 or so streams is putting it into the actual code base, into the code, into the this thing. So what I'm gonna do is make the UI a little bit smaller. So you guys might not be able to read the menu items as easy because I'm just gonna make it a little bit smaller to make some more space for myself. Squish this down. Make sure the app is running, which it's not because this computer is restarted at some point over the weekend, maybe 4 or 5 times. Who knows? And launch the app in this browser, hopefully. Oh, this was fun. New cat. So if you weren't here on Friday, Thindle was telling us about a effort he was doing. Kawaii. It didn't pause. An effort that he was doing to what? To create a picture pan and zoomer for a desktop application where you like actually, mouse wheel in to scroll in, mouse wheel down to scroll out, and then click drag to pan. But I was like, I can make one. It'd be fun if we just spent some time trying to make that functionality happen in the browser, but kind of like the way you would do on a product website where you just mouse over it and wherever your mouse is relative to the coordinates, it zooms in and you can see the picture. So that was fun. So we did that on Friday. Anyway, here is where we are at. Hold on, my mom is texting me. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Wonderful. Oh, good times. Let's get rid of all of these tabs. What are you? The Blazor component library that we talked about a little bit. This is the running app. This is samples of other sites, SAS background, the GitHub for the project, which is open. Actually, I'll just move it over here. Make it easier. So anyway, while we are here, he wasn't able to stream this morning, but he said he should be on tomorrow morning, or I guess morning my time. So tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern time, which is UTC -4. But his name is TBD Gamer. He's in chat. He's probably in a meeting right now, or maybe has come back, who knows. But he streams application development most of the time, but on Mondays and Tuesdays, he has been learning Godot because he wants to create a game that he just wants. He wants to see it. But in order to do that, he needs the skills in order to build that game. So he's learning the basics of Godot by creating a top-down shooter, kind of like old arcade style. You're in an airplane moving back and forth, shooting bullets up the screen. Projectiles, I should say, up the screen, cannons shooting at you, etc., etc. So it's been a lot of fun just at least hanging out with him. I'm not as super talkative on streams. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Most of the time I'm not, especially first thing in the morning when I'm in that thinking mood, just trying to get stuff done when everyone else is quiet. But it's still tons and tons of fun on his stream. And then on Wednesday through Friday, he works on an application that is intended to be something similar to Jira, similar to Azure DevOps, but is intended more, or is more geared towards the developers. So it's a project planning application called Liquid Sky. Definitely check it out. He's using a lot of really cool technologies. And by check it out, I mean check out his streams when he's doing those, because the core code, the code for the actual application itself is not open source, but he has made some components of it available. All right. So here we are working on the redesign, applying the redesign of the application. We are going from, for those of you that haven't seen any of the other streams before, we're going from essentially this as our landing page. This was the original design, to this as our landing page. And I think it is really, really nice. The more I see it, I just really need to figure out what to do with these sections, which we keep talking about over and over. So we'll figure it out once we get there. We applied the background last time, and we have it fixed in place. We were also working on the top bar. I am seeing a little bit of a color difference for the app brand title. I'm not exactly sure why that's happening, to be honest. Font size, link color, because it is currently using link color. So let's just fix that real quick. We're going to override the color, even though it is an anchor. It's not an anchor though. Oh yes, it is. It's an anchor because we put the anchor around the entire thing, even though we told it to have only the outline around the title portion. So it is an anchor, but we're going to change that to be white. Yeah. I wish the designer put some scroll bars so we can know how to style the scroll bars when we actually have scroll bars on the screen, because it looks really nice without scroll bars, and then you get the default scroll bars from the browser. But I don't know, maybe it's okay. And if that's the case, maybe we do want the scroll bar to extend the entire height and just have the nav bar be sticky. The problem with doing that is that we can't really control the content to stop at this point just below the nav bar, because the nav bar doesn't have a background. I know it's really hard to see like this, but once we get rid of this image, you'll see what I'm talking about. Don't worry about the buttons yet. We will style all of the buttons together. But the first thing that we want to do is get this layout going, and then maybe, yeah, just get this layout going. So let's fix this at brand. Your color. Where will we put it? We'll put it here. And we'll just use white. Is white not a defined color? Oh, it just didn't apply yet. Be patient, young one. White isn't a defined color. Did I call it text white? Force white? No. Oh man. Let's go find it. X light, I think, is what I might have called it. Because there's regular light. Right, we're gonna be changing these colors anyway. Gosh. I just want to make sure that no matter what happens, we use text light, because even when we use the light mode, because right now we're designing for dark mode and probably going to keep it only in dark mode the more I think about it, but I want this text to always be contrasted against the background, and we could use something like, I believe, a filter so that we can make sure that there is always contrast, but I think it's just easier to force this text to be light, whatever we call light. So that's done. Go us. Like a magic. It's been a while since we've committed, and we had this discussion on TBD stream, I don't know, Wednesday of last week, and he was talking about trying to get in the habit of doing smaller commits and then squashing where needed, which I think is a great idea. So we'll make sure to stay on top of that too, because I opt in. I subscribe to that. Whatever the phrase is, whatever you cool kids say. So here we're going to say added, styled. No, added and styled the top bar content. And then we talked a little bit about using the external libraries on Wednesday and setting up breakpoints so that when we are doing the responsive UI design implementation, that we are able to get the breakpoints without needing to define it in every single file that we use in Media Query. Oh no, I pushed commit and push. I meant to do just to commit. Whatever. We committed and pushed. This is now updated on the branch. Task 52, revamp layout. If you want to see it, it is live. Again, the link is above for the GitHub. So let's see that we are currently done, except for actually filling in the links with the top bar. Let's get rid of this background. And are you just an image, or are you a background on the hero section? It's an image on the background of the hero section, so we're going to make that go away. Where is it? It is in the isolated CSS for index, and I could tell that it's in the isolated CSS for index by two reasons. The first is that this is indicating that we have a unique ID that is given to us by Blazor when we use isolated CSS. And the second is that this is coming from the bundle of CSS files that are generated when you have isolated CSS files. So that's one way that you can use dev tools to help you figure out where your code might be, or where your CSS might be defined. I got words. I know how to use words. So that would be here in Blazor UI. Index.razor.sass. And lo and behold, here it is. Made it straight to it. Okay, so we're getting rid of the background. So many wonderful, great streams today. You know what's funny? I have not been lurking on any, because TBD wasn't able to stream this morning, I kind of just dropped all of my normal morning lurking streams, and I kind of just used this morning for myself, which was very selfish to not support other streamers. But at the same time, I needed that time, or not really needed, but I definitely got a lot done. But it looks like Big Gamey is streaming, Layla is streaming, Visual Studio is streaming. So let me start lurking on some channels. Thank you for reminding me though. Kindle. I hope you're having a great day so far. Oops, Dev. Me Megatron. Me Megatron. Old Bearded Builder. JD does Dev. Alicia. Oh, you can be wherever you want. I'm glad that you are here actively. Don't feel obligated to, but I am honored that you would choose to if you do. Oh, come on, mouse. Okay. Oh, dude, is this Code Rushed? Yeah, Code Rushed is on the Visual Studio channel. Awesome. I was out driving training with my nephew. Oh, where he is learning to drive. He is yeah, just learning to drive. That's cool. That's really cool of you. Awesome. So nice of you to help out your nephew. You were in a parking lot. I'll wait for you to write out the rest of that. And while you do that, I will get rid of this stuff here. And that gets rid of the background. And we have a filter on this, which I don't want the filter anymore. So we can actually get rid of the HTML for it too. Index. No filter. And we probably have to tell this thing to recompile. Like, for some reason, it worked beautifully here. In my work product, all of my apps, I'm working on 2 of them simultaneously, RMA Water and Water Management. And for whatever reason, when I make changes to a subcomponent that is used inside of my main component, like I have a main layout. In that I have pages, and I have subcomponents in those pages. When I'm working in those subcomponents, everything is a rude edit for some reason, even deleting HTML. And I don't know what I did differently in those projects. Like my isolated CSS or my CSS autosync isn't working as well as it is in this project, for example. And I don't know, maybe it's just because there's too much data-driven stuff in those other apps, and this is just essentially a static page that I want interactivity on. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so Thindle said, so we were in a parking lot and trying to get familiar with where everything is. Just start, stop, turn signaling, looking around, stopping, telling him that if he's feeling stressed by others in traffic, that's their problem, not his. Just take your time. Very good advice. Very good advice. I like that. Did you teach him, or was he in your car? And if it was your car, was it the oh my gosh, I just forgot the name of your electric car. Polestar, thank you. because it is a little bit of a different experience. Does Polestar have any amount of where the regenerative braking does slow down the car for you, or yeah? So it's a bit of a different experience teaching him to drive in that. Oh, you can actually set the regen though. Okay. Okay, cool. And it's kind of like that in the Nissan Aria, but I never have that. I always put the drive mode into eco and then turn on the B driving mode and E pedal. I wish they kept E step, because E step would stop the car completely, but E pedal only slows you down to like 10 miles per hour. It's kind of annoying. So he'll be in a nice, yeah. I initially learned to drive on a manual transmission. And I really enjoyed it. But then it was just driving after a while. It was like I'm just using cars to get to work, maybe to sleep in between work and class. Yeah. Yeah, true. That's crazy. Or I didn't mean true. I didn't know that. So if you don't do your test in a manual transmission car, you can't drive one later. You get a restricted license. And I think you should be able to have whichever. Yeah, that's totally preference in my opinion, but of course, if they don't have experience driving manual transmission, they won't know whether they would want to drive transmission in the future. So may as well go for it. But with ICE cars getting phased out, supposedly by 2030 or something, I don't know that it would be beneficial to teach people how to drive manual transmission. Like that should be the thing that happens first is people that are getting their license are taught to drive electric vehicles, and then over time, like phasing out ICE and only being able to purchase electric vehicles. Because that would encourage more use of, and it doesn't even have to be like electric vehicles as we know it, just alternative fuel vehicles, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I guess. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So we got rid of the background image in the hero. And by anyway, I'm sorry, I'm not dismissing our conversation. I'm refocusing my attention to here, but I definitely feel free to keep talking and I will engage with you. I don't think you're allowed to buy a gas car after 2035 if it's a large series model. Wow, only large series? By then I would think they would have, medium, moderate. Like the only ICE cars you're able to purchase by then would be compact or something. Interesting. So Lamborghinis get exceptions, exemptions, whatever. Some word I can read. Because I mean, I do understand the appeal for people that do enjoy driving to be able to have a good experience while driving and be able to choose the type of vehicle that they drive. And electric vehicles don't have the same feel, kind of like people that love to listen to records or cassette tapes or whatever. It doesn't have the same feel as digital media, so I understand it. But at this point, it's not a matter of what do you enjoy, what don't you enjoy. It's a matter of preserving our environment a little bit better. Even though it's not going to be a massive impact. I mean, it could be. I don't know the science. I don't know the numbers, but yeah. Every little bit helps, right? It lacks the oomph of holy acceleration, Batman. I have not tested the acceleration in the Aria, nor do I plan to, because I haven't needed to. I have I have been on the highway with it on the on ramps, and maybe I am punching it, but I can't feel it, which is good for me. In 4.3 seconds, 0 to 60. And it's like, why? And isn't it like 0 to 100 in the UK or in Europe that they go off of? Yeah. And I'm like, that's not what's going to draw my attention to a vehicle. I'm talking miles for you Americans. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for being so considerate. Yeah. Again, I really don't want to knock on anyone's enjoyment of driving a vehicle, especially a whatever style of vehicle they like, the ones that rev up and go and the ones that go whatever you enjoy, please do. But just consider what it's doing to the environment. Even though it's possible that electric cars are no better because of batteries, because of waste, because of tires, or whatever other arguments there are out there that I don't know the science behind or the correct numbers. I only know that carbon combustion engines, carbon emissions come from our current standard vehicles. It's nice because you don't need to plan your takeovers, you just floor it. But other than that, you basically don't use it beyond, looky, I can go vroom vroom without the vroom vroom, but it's fast. Unless you had the oh, I can't even remember which car it was. I think it was the BYD, where you can have it make engine noises as you accelerate, or even whatever noise you want it to make when you accelerate. Battery is fine, very expensive for the environment to make, very cheap for the environment to recycle. Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, I've seen so many things on it that now I'm just confused. But I do feel like in my gut, which is not science at all, or it could be, I guess. But in my gut, I feel like making a move to electric does contribute to reducing carbon emissions, which is a major negative thing that is happening to our world. Preach. The issue is getting the stuff from the ground because strip mining, there aren't veins. It's like tiny nuggets mixed in with other stuff. So you need to pick up a lot of stuff and make a huge hole to make a battery. I see. Yeah, if we can come up with alternative fuels, but I mean, I don't want to talk about that too much because it's the only thing that I can say about it is it would be nice if. I have no idea what it takes to do it, how hard or easy. So Thindle continues, but the way that the batteries go bad isn't destructive to the material, just the build. So you can pretty much melt it down and make a new one with zero loss. Cool. I like that. Okay, section. So I need to style my section content next is what we're gonna do. And then we'll not style the section content. I need to add the section content and then we will style it. So to follow the design, our sections are deposit payments and transfers with these horizontal, not sections. Our first section is track transactions with subsections, I guess. Which is why you should recycle your damn phones. Done on that topic now. Are you though? I'm still using, like, I've always traded in my phone, so I don't know what happens to my phones afterwards. But I'm using my previous phone for business type stuff, and it's a Galaxy Note 8, I think. And then I'm using my current phone for looks, aesthetics. It kind of just sits there. I guess getting texts from my mom, but I don't really use my phone for much. I did recently download an app, not sponsored, called Retroxel. Retroxel. Re- what are you called? Yeah, Retroxel. But it's pretty much like taking an arcade emulator with all of the ROMs and making them available through an app. You click on the game that you want to play, it downloads the ROM, you play it as if you were at an actual arcade. And they have a lot of throwbacks. I don't know. Is making ROMs from arcade cabinets that have a copyright date of 1997 and before piracy? Because I would assume that if it's allowed on the App Store, that I am not doing something illegal. At least I hope I'm not. But I saw nothing. I mean, I honestly don't think that it is. But it could be. Who knows? Content. So here is our body content. What is... Oh, I was like, what is going on? This is our shared localizer service. We have localization in the app. I forgot. That's going to be fun. Oh, wait. Let's actually start with the hero. We're not done with hero. The only thing that we did was get rid of the background. So let's continue with our hero content first so that it looks like a mini mall, so that it looks like the design. So I'm just going to use our designer's text content. So hero title is going to simply be an update to the localization for it. So here is our, I want to see the content change as we do this. In shared localizer, this is where I put all of my localizations for the entire application. We have hero title, and it's going to say this. Hopefully that's not an actual character return. It was. All right. So when I save this, the hero title content is going to change in the generated hero title CS, and it's going to be a rude edit. Interesting. That's annoying. Oh, I guess that makes sense because it's a static class that gets generated. No. And it's saying that the file is locked, so we can't rebuild. That's so annoying. You didn't think to actually stop the application before trying a rebuild? Come on, Harilo. I did ops this weekend. I'm considering doing some ops tonight. You said this same phrase a few weeks ago. It sounds so familiar. Does that mean that every single time we're going to update content? Yeah, DevOps. Does that mean that every time we change the content in our localizations, it's going to be considered a root edit, because that's really annoying if it is. Let's find out. Here's our sub-content. Again, making sure that we are not word wrapping. X-Sour. Whatever GPT stuff we came up with. All right, so it looks fine. It doesn't look like anything else is a carriage return in the content. Just to be safe, I'm going to put this in Notepad real quick. All right. It's all one line. Good. One line of text. Save. Let's find out. Are you a root edit? Yes, it is. Are you going to actually rebuild this time, though? Or are you going to tell me that the file is in use? It'd be really nice if you just rebuilt. Thanks. Okay, so now we have our title, main content, and our subtitle content. And we need the button. Index. So here's our hero button. Did I make an actual button component, or are these just regular buttons? Top bar, app bar links, regular button. And there it is. Great. Again, not styling it yet. We have the content up there. This login form is not going to be there. Instead, this is going to be, I don't know what to call it, right side. Image wrapper. So if we look at the design, the thing that this side is going to contain is a preview of the app. So how about app preview wrapper? Okay, and we're going to take this image directly until such a time as the designer creates the updated image of the app, and then we'll probably just end up taking a screenshot and then stylizing it. Take me to this component. Can you do that? No. Man, you can't do much as a developer in Figma, can you? What do you look like as a ping? But that's not the thing that I want as the ping. The thing that I want as the ping is the component. This component here. All right, and I'm just going to use trusty old paint. Add the styles. No. Ooh, he said no. Dang it, I do need to go to the original component so that I can get the whole picture. Excuse me, are you going to let me actually copy this whole thing? This entire thing, please? Yes, yes it is. There we go. Much gooder. Much more gooder. So save as. Where have I been putting these? In the actual project, right? In the actual project. So C drive, repos. No. Repos. Git. Line. Find man. Source. Images. All right, I'm going to create a new folder since these are probably going to get either replaced or processed or both. App preview. Okay, so we called it app preview. And I'm going to shrinken. Oh man. Trying to do too many. Let's get to projects. Night. Projects is my music. Oh yeah. Just for you, Tyndall. Since you were asking about it previously, I don't know where I put it. I'm gonna have to find it. Had the AI thingy generate a song with my lyrics translated to Swedish. It sounds really cool. I'll find it in a second. Okay, music. It'll get stuck in your head too. Swedish. Which one of you? I apologize if the grammar is incorrect or anything. Shouldn't be able to hear this. It's a synthwave song. I like that one. And this one just sounds okay. I think we'll do that first one. Okay. Let me pause the other music and have this one output through something you guys can hear. I know you can't hear. Me pauso. And desktop audio, I think, is the Realtek digital audio, if I recall correctly. Audio. Yeah, Realtek digital audio. So system, sound, mixer, I said. Media player. Do I have to have it playing? Oh no, I was going to say. Output device to Realtek. Okay, so you should be able to hear this. This is called A Whisper Unleashed by Suno collab me collab Gemini collab ChatGPT for translations. Okay.
Som går ut eller något vid världens ände. Det finns en viskning i bruset, där flymmer i min blick. Konstant känsla av något precis utom räckhåll, kan inte förneka. Som en parallell kanal som blöder inom slöjan. En värld av levande färger där det här dämpade livet kan misslyckas. Fångar glimtar i hörnets skuggor som dansar i en viskning i bruset, det skymmer i min blick. Konstant känsla av något, precis utom det kan inte förneka. Som en parallell kanal som blöder inom slöjan. En värld av levande
You don't say.
den världen livet kan misslyckas. Kanske missar jag nåt, en frekvens utanför räckvidd. En våglängd av existens, där livet är ett annat spel. Där färger sjunger och känslor blommar i en obegränsad glans. Och den här verkligheten är ett bläcktryck hopplöst lämnad efter. Det finns en viskning i bruset, det skymmer i min blick. Konstant känsla av något, precis utom räckhåll, kan inte förneka. Som en parallell kanal som blöder genom slöjan. En värld av levande färger där.
Oh, right. Only 2 minutes long. Because that was from the original Suno. But Thindle says, very auto-tuned. You know, actually auto. Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing that I like about it. It really plays around. You're not gonna scale. You're not gonna lock left and right. I should just use Photoshop for this. I really like that it plays with the phrasing and does stuff you wouldn't normally do or you wouldn't normally hear. And a lot of times it's just weird, but sometimes it's like, whoa, I would not have broken up that word like that or added that many syllables to it. So I have no idea what that would have sounded like to a native Swedish person, but I hope it was somewhat enjoyable. There's one little bit I think is actually impossible to say because 2 words that you can't physically say right after each other are right after each other. Yeah, sometimes it just makes up words too. Like I put the word rebellion in there and it's like, I don't know what it says in place of it, but it isn't rebellion. I'm trying to open image photos. It started out with a coral paint colors. Then the lyric? A coral paint colors. Again, I apologize for the there's a word I'm looking for. The not quite accurate representation of the language. Yeah, because what I think I did was took the lyrics that I had. A coral is watercolor, so watercolor paint colors. Yeah, I think it does have a lyric that's like that though, in the English version. So it probably just did a direct translation. But yeah, I took the original lyrics that I had and asked Gemini to not only translate them to Swedish, but to also change whatever words needed to be changed in order to keep the feel, the intent of the lyrics, and still have it rhyme. As I push up my glasses like a nerd. Where in the world is resize? Cancel. Right click, resize image. Good grief. You guys can't see what I'm doing, which is good because I'm failing all over the place. I'm failing across the river. Let's see, 514 by 348 might be a little small. So let's do half, 50%. 1028 by 767. Sure. Works for me. Where's the folder with the file? But yeah, so Thindle, if you are interested in hearing more, and you don't feel like having your own account or whatever, just direct message me some ideas, like a song about whatever it is you want to hear, whatever genre, whatever language. It mostly supports English at the moment, but I can make it sing in other languages if you give me lyrics. If you want instrumental only, a song about nothing. I'm sure plenty of people have requested that, but we can make that happen, and then I can send you the song. All right. So here we should be able to image source images. I like how it, how it does that, where it's like, you're not actually going to have anything in there. So you already do have one. Maybe I'll check that out someday. Over here. And this Chrome, please. Pasta. No, it kind of makes sense. It's a song about nothing, so all the rich boys have something to jump around about. I can somehow turn that into what it's supposed to mean in my head. Finan man, Blazor UI, images, and I don't think we need the leading / because everything is prefixed with the / I think I called it app preview ping. Let's see if I got this right. I did. The alt is going to be localized alt. So let's get back to our localizations, create a new key for the hero preview image alt text. And we'll do shared localizer service. Did I actually save? I haven't saved yet. Oh, and it's going to rebuild anyway. Shared localizer service dot pasta. Why are you angry? Did I spell it wrong? And you're saying that that doesn't exist. Why not? It should now. Why did it take me back? Whatever. Whatever. It does exist. But those two parts of a sentence rhyme and are the same length in Swedish. In the club drinking champagne so all the girls touch my bum. My bum? Really? Bum? It's a bit of a club banger for a bit though. And then we'll do a Jägermeister. Jägermeister, for those of you that don't know that Jäger is for Jägermeister. It could be for Jägerschnitzel. Who knows? Shots to show everyone who's the best. Jägerschnitzel shots, yes. Content for the. Oh no, I pushed F1. Jägerverse? Preview of the financial management application data entry. He just wants me to keep singing. I know, like, this sounds like a lyric, what you're saying to me. I know you might shoot your Jaeger Schnitzel. I know nothing. I don't know about doing Jaeger Schnitzel shots, though. It's a lyric. Trust me. Okay, is that alt actually there? I mean, I haven't done anything Blazor specific for localization. I'm just using a localizations.resx file, and I turned on access modifier public so that it automatically, yeah, exactly what you just typed. So it automatically generates the source. And so I have a static class shared localizer service. And the issue here is that it's not reading the period for some reason. Okay. It should treat this whole thing as object.property, even without the parentheses. So I don't know what's going on with that. Are you good now? It's good now. And yes, we do have our localized alt text now. TBD Gamer's back. How many developers does it take to screw in a light bulb? 0. What's the answer? Sorry. I don't know. How many developers does it take to screw in a light bulb? I think that's what I was supposed to say. 1 minute aside. Yeah, again, we aren't styling this yet, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to see content without styling it. Oh no. Well, is the light fitting safe? Is OSHA aware of it? Have we planned the stories? Who does the work? Is that a 3.5? Oh, do we have a light socket? So true. So 0 because if we leave it with the developers, the light bulb will never get screwed in. True. But I think you mean the Scrum Master. Thindle says to TBD, I'd spend half a year writing an application to run a robot to do it for me. What I would be interested in trying to do is be able to keep the existing hardware there, and all you have to do is put the light bulb close to the socket and have software that runs the electricity in such a way that the light bulb would screw itself in when it's close enough. I'm sure that's possible. Use electricity to generate electromagnetic waves to make the light bulb spin the correct direction. That's possible. TBD says, we just got told we need to do refactoring because it will lower our bugs. Got told by technical leads, by the way, not management. I mean, it's not entirely wrong. But they aren't dictating who and what the refactorings are. Okay, so yes. Like, as a general statement, it is truth, but let's be a little bit more specific on the details so we know what exactly we're doing. Well, bugs in the basement are less visible than in the kitchen, true. Actually, no, that's a lie for us. We're always in our basement, and when there's a bug down here, I'll refactor it, all right? It's called delete, and it's a key on my keyboard. Can't have bugs if there's no code. So Dickasoft. Well, that's just IT, and no one cares about IT. Even though we have the internet box. Speaking of internet box, that's what my mom texted me about earlier. They haven't had internet for the past 4 days. DBD says, irony is I work in an organization making software for pest control companies. It's full of bugs. Jen, this is the internet. Be very careful so you don't break it. True. Bye, Big Amy. Thanks for the stream. Okay. So yeah, it's really hard to see content at all without styling this. So we're going to do just a little bit of styling, not too much. We have hero content. Content has 2 sections, so we're going to make it grid, 1 for auto. We're going to make the right side be min max. The minimum size is going to be it's not going to grow and shrink if I do this though, is it? It's just going to stay whatever the minimum size is because of 1FR. Let's do it like this. The minimum size is going to be a hard-coded pixel amount, and we're going to say it's 480 pixels. And the maximum size is going to be half of, no, let's say a little under half. Let's say, oh, I don't know if this is going to be a good idea, doing a calc inside of a min-max. Minus, let's say, a gutter of 3 font sizes. That's still massive. Oh, right. And the other thing that I'm forgetting to do is style the image in the app preview wrapper. And then the app preview wrapper is going to be a width of 100% of its available space, of its container. And the image inside of it is going to have a width of 100% of its container and a height of auto. And it should scale down. Nice. God. Oops. I was squishing the wrong thing. Okay, so we get the gist of this. Again, not fully styled yet, but we will. I guess the other things we can do is instead of align items flex start, we can now align items center. Beautiful. Jeez. And this is why breakpoints are going to come into play quite a bit. Wow. I struggle so much with this kind of thing. So what should the font size be for this H1? What should the font size be for this subtitle? But we'll get there. We have the content on there now. So now we can move on. Oh, I guess, again, this is the process of doing mini commits. We just finished with the basic part of the hero section. So added or updated hero content. With basic styling. And then we do a small commit. Then we move on to the next section. Once we're done with that small bit of work, we do another small commit, etc., etc. So I was telling them about how you were telling us on your stream, TBD, that you were trying to get into the habit of doing smaller commits and squashing where necessary and all of that fun stuff. And I like that idea a lot. Okay, so the actual content looks like this. So this is the section we are focused on, which is the track transactions. It's going to be a section. This outer part is going to be a section, followed by the section title, which I don't know whether I'm going to make a H2 or not. I think I am. It makes sense to make it a H2. So if this is a H1, oh, what did you do, designer? Shouldn't this be bigger font size? I don't even think this is a H1. Now that I'm looking at it, this is content that is not actually a header versus this, which is content that is a header. So this might actually be a H1. Yeah, does that look odd to anyone else that this font is bigger than this font? The main grab your attention font? Of course, no one. That was either rhetorical or you can answer it if you feel like it. No pressure whatsoever. Do I have? No, I pushed F5. I pushed F5. The thing I really don't like about this keyboard is that it doesn't have a break button. It's been a really long time since I've had a keyboard that has a break button, pause break button. I don't know why they got rid of it. I just need to bind something else to cancel build. I hope that didn't break our running app. It didn't. Okay. So what I'm looking for is the text content for track transactions. I don't have that, so we're going to make... what I want to do is hijack this one, but once I do this part of it, it's going to break the usage of it because, as you can see, it's track header. And I'm changing it to track transactions header. Oops. So once I save, then if we go over to the app, it's going to try to do a rebuild and it's going to be like, as this thing. Or it's just going to keep the file locked because Hot Reload doesn't know how to stop the application when it needs to do a rude edit. Whatever, your choice. Whatever you feel like doing. I'm just going to let it go like that. Forget you. And then here is the track transactions subtitle. And so we're going to call you the... And these aren't going to be cards anymore. These are not going to be cards anymore. So instead, what I'm going to do is create a new div, which I guess you can call this an article. I guess you can call this an article for semantic HTML. Because inside of this section, we have this article that talks about tracking transactions. Or am I backwards? Is it supposed to be article on the outside and then sections on the inside? And this is an aside. But asides are usually over to the side. Otherwise, why would they be called aside? Yeah, I'm just going to use a div. Or what might make more sense here is, as I mentioned before, just putting the header itself, since we can style the content using maybe an ID. And again, we could use something like SEC for section track transactions instead of putting section at the end. That way, if we have automation tools for testing the UI, we know that anything that is prefixed, anything that's an ID that's prefixed with SEC is a section, BTN is a button. Oh, I wasn't thinking about that up here, was I? I guess I'm not experienced enough with using UI automation tools that I don't know if I should just be putting an ID on everything, no matter what. That way I do have an easy way to target certain things when I'm doing UI testing, end-to-end testing or integration testing, whatever. And then we'll have a span, class, section, subtitle. And subtitle, I have hyphenated up here. So for the sake of consistency, I'm going to hyphenate it down here. And the content for this is going to be our track transactions content. Nope, it's going to be track transactions subtype. And that content is going to be see what your money is doing by tracking all of your transactions manually. What's this automation business you're talking about? Okay, that breaks that. And actually, I think it's time to just get rid of that entire card wrapper. Content. Oops. Shared localizer service dot whatever this is. Delete you. You're doing the thing that you're saying I don't exist, and you do exist. So I'm gonna make you reanalyze so that you know that you're the symbol for this exists. This is so fickle. You know what? I want my card wrappers back. Are you gonna rebuild? Or are you still busy saying that the file is locked? Oh man. And we're back. F12. Okay, and there is our track transactions. This is one thing that's really difficult about using a localizations file. I don't know of any extensions that do spell check on localizations. Sure, you can do that. Why not? Especially during the stream. It's a great time to do that, Paratoys. So this is for generating resx files, I think. Extract all strings from any .NET solution and store them in a single file Oh, okay. So if you were manually putting strings into your content, this tool could generate the regex file for you, and then you send it off to translators. But no, what I'm looking for is a spell checker for regex files. If I were to look for anything at all, like I'm not too worried about it. I don't do a terrible job of spelling things, but I'm also dyslexic at times and don't catch double letters. But the IDE itself does, or there is an extension at least for the editor. It might be built in. Are you built in? Nope. Spell check, spell check, spell check, spell check. Not there. Not there. I guess I could. Okay, so no, nothing built in. It's all built in the future. Thank you, One. Yeah, everything is just going to be, you say, does it have this feature? And suddenly it does while you're looking for it. But no, there is an extension that you can use that will do spell check for you in your strings, in text, in comments, and stuff like that. But I don't think it works well when you are using localization dictionaries. Okay, can I have this back, please? We are going to reuse this, repurpose it, because our cards inside of this card wrapper are going to have two styles. One of the styles is going to be when it's wide enough that it can be this horizontal left-right thing, and then the other style is going to be the stacked version. But in any case, it's the same component. It's just cards that are styled differently based off of the breakpoints. Just look at all the cool things the T-Series came with as the movies progressed. As in Terminator. I think. Did I get the reference? And what did I do with my localizations file? Did I close it? Why would I have done that? I don't remember closing it. I do remember closing it. That is weird. That's very weird. Okay, so the thing that I'm looking for is the... Oh, man. I wonder if it's in my repo. So another thing, since we're talking about spelling, that I realized is that in my chart.js wrapper, if I even have that in here, that's tests. The rectangle, no, bounding box, where would I have put that? Maybe it's in shared. Not constants. Special kid. Oh my goodness. Bounding client rect. Nope. It's definitely in my repo. So I noticed this in my work product because I'm using the bounding client rec JavaScript interop thing to get the bounding box for an element from Blazor, calling JavaScript. After that thing renders, making sure it's not off the screen. If it is off the screen, moving it onto the screen kind of thing. And I noticed that my object is spelled incorrectly. So yeah, so that's in the Blazor component library. Here's a pull request. Oh. Thank you, Dependabot. Psst. Paying attention. Yeah, that's you there. Hid not copy. Wow, so every single time that I'm making a content change to the regex file, I'm gonna have to stop the app and reload it. So let's add all of the content first. I just wanted to do this little by little because I wanted to delete the stuff that's not being used. For example, watch header and watch body content are not going to be used. Plan header and plan body content. I'll leave those there for now. All right, and instead we're going to use is that enough space? Can I collapse this? I'm sure there's a way to collapse it. Oh, just use this for now. Okay, so we're gonna have our, what are these gonna be called? Ooh, do any of you use localizations? And again, only answer if you have the availability to answer. Blah, blah, blah. Do any of you use localizations? And if you do, like localizations.regex, where you put a key for the thingy and then you use that key in code, do you use the usage for a localized string as the key name when it's only like one word, for example? So this is one word that says deposits, which I already have in my list. But the usage of this is deposits in the deposits card for track transactions. So would I go as far as calling this localized string deposits header text or something like that? We had a bunch of shared terms and then a whole bunch of viewName.keys. Yeah, I would too. I remember running into this when I was working at Sagetti for all of that localized content. And I went with, if it is a term that's used in multiple places, then I just called the variable the term itself. Oosh. Okay, so thank you, Thindle, for your feedback. And if anyone else does have any opinions, I am interested in that too, but I like Thindle's response. It's like this one, deposits overview description. This is the only place that this text is going to be used. And so I'm calling it the thing specifically. Get started button. Right, you're not going to be the get started button. Right, right. This is going to be very, very odd to know what to do with this because it's still, like I said, going to be a card, but maybe I make it a card without a header and a footer and I just style the card text so that it can switch between this horizontal layout and this vertical layout. Or I make the image the header and the content the footer, and then of course have my display flex direction horizontal on the card content, and then have one be row reversed. Oh, and that's what I meant to say. Flex direction row, and then flex direction row reversed, and then flex direction column. And the reason that I would want to make the picture the header is because of when it's narrow, it's going to be the image first and then the text content. Or this stuff can be the footer and this is the body. Oh man, decisions. I'm going to go with header, footer. And for now, I'm just going to, again, sketch this out so that I don't think too hard on it. And then we will use the correct elements. So let's get rid of this. I do still like the get started button somewhere in here. So for now, I'm going to move it up with this content here. See what happens. I know that the designer didn't put it in here, but there should be a call to action in every area. So if it's not with each one of these individual cards, it should at least be at the bottom of this entire section, which sounds better to me, actually. So I'm going to put it down here at the end of the section. Good idea, bro. Thanks, bro. So I need these images. Just paste it in here. Let it import the file. Not gonna work. It would be cool if you could right click and copy an image. So right now I have the PNG bytes in my clipboard, and then go into File Explorer and paste, and you get the file itself pasted. It would be cool if you knew what I was doing. What? Paint. Be our friend again. Pretty Peggy. Pretty Peggy. Save as PNG. You know what? I think I had. No, I don't. I have a different one. Save you here. I'm going to grab these as well while I'm here. I guess I'll show you what I'm doing. Oh, I didn't title you. How am I going to do this though? So these images are not of equal size, but I want them to appear as if they were. Thank you, Paint. What to do, what to do. We'll find out, I guess. Let's just put the pictures on there and then we'll style them and see what happens. So here's my images folder, image in folder. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the folder that I put those in to begin with. Here, give me a new one of these. And take me up a couple to here. And give me the images folder. And I'm not going to resize these. It's lazy. Oh, that's going to be annoying. Let's get rid of that one. I like that picture and all, but I don't want to get confused. Okay, so this should be relatively easy because it's just a matter of putting an image, source, not slash underscore content slash blade. No, this is called fireman man Blazor UI, lowercase I. Maybe add a Z in there. Blazor UI images, images. Piggy bank is first. Okay, so there is one. Oop. And then we'll need an alt text for this one, localized, of course. And we'll let you sit there for a second while we do the piggy bank image alt. Did I call the other one alt text or just alt? Alt text. Consistency is key. A hand holding a gold coin above a, what color are you? Blue piggy bank. Cake. Save that. Pasta you dare. Cake. Now we get rid of you and you. 1, 2. Duplicate that twice. E to extrude. X, W to move. X to constrain it to the X axis. Whatever. Brain. My brain just drops off every now and then. I think that I forgot to update. No, I didn't. Okay, so transfers was next, I believe. Payments was next, is what I said. Payment, plural. And then we'll create this one in a second. First, let's add the image, which was card transaction. And finale, change out deposits for payment. And then that's going to be this text here. Mindless monkeys, just copying and pasting whatever the designer gives us. That's what we do. Code monkeys. Here's another thing. In the world of localizations, I got my hand slapped when things that look like sentences didn't have punctuation at the end. And so if it's not a title, it should contain punctuation. That was the lesson that I think I learned, but I'm not very confident in that being a rule of thumb. Okay, so finally, general ledger. So general ledger gets the, oh, whoops, card. Oh, I didn't actually create the thingies for them. So card transaction image alt text. A hand holding out a card to another hand receiving card. A card reader is in the receiver's other hand. I don't know. I'm not good at this. If any of you have better words to use for my alt text, please feel free to chime in. I can always ask Gemini when we're ready to solidify this stuff. And this one was general ledger image text, image alt text. Man, why do I suck so much at letting go of the shift key? Always end up with two capital letters next to each other when I don't intend it to be. Pencil and a calculator sitting on top of a part of a filled out general ledger form. General ledger does not, well, I don't know. In this picture, the general ledger text is capitalized, so maybe? I don't know. Does it really matter? Probably. What will the localization team do with general ledger as a proper noun? Will they think that it's supposed to not be localized because it's a proper noun? Possibly. Yeah. I'm going to go with that logic and just say it should be lowercase to make sure it's a regular old everyday general ledger noun. And this one was transfers. Transfers. And then we get one of these, but with transfers. And that text is this. And copy pasta from the design with punctuation. And that's it. That's it for this section, except that I forgot to close off all of my image tags, didn't I? Every single one of them. Genius. Oops. Okay. We're done with that. We're done with this. I guess we may as well put this text into our localizations. Maybe the text down here if I don't have it in localizations yet too. Transaction history header is what I called the other one. Transaction history header. And then transaction history subtitle. Yep. Copy. And pasta. That way we have that text ready. The only thing that would be missing are those two. So let's take a look down here at the footer content. Contact us. Exists about. Exists privacy. Does not exist. And sitemap. Okay, and as far as this is concerned, I'm sorry, UI designer, but my intuition, I don't know what to call it. My values say that they have rebranded Twitter to be X, right? As in, they didn't rebrand the company to be X, they rebranded the Twitter app to be called X. Yes. Worst rebrand ever. So I'm sorry, designer. I know that you have strong feelings about continuing to call it Twitter, but because it has the logo next to it, it's next to the rest of the social medias. I don't think the users will be confused that this is the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. But because these are all, again, proper names, application names, software applications, or whatever you want to call it, product names, they do not get localized. Conversely, I don't know whether the copyright gets localized or not. And so what I do with copyright text, because we did localize it in the previous, is since this value here may change, then I use a templated string version. And then I describe that 0 is the copyright validity period. Okay, so but is it actually spelled out in Swedish when you're on a site, on a Swedish site? Because that's what matters. It doesn't matter whether you verbally say copyright or not. It's just whether it's on the site in a localized manner. So I don't like this because the way that I would prefer to do it is like copyright year, like have a variable placeholder instead, but that doesn't work well when you are doing string.format. It does work nicely when you're logging, because something like Serilog will turn this into the matching variable name. Okay, so we have all of our localized content that's remaining. My logo will remain my logo. I don't see anything else that would be revealed as different text in any of the other form factors. So let's continue on with the next portion. This is all of the content for the second section. So we have a third section. That is going to have content in it as well. And this is going to be the transaction history header, transaction history subtitle, no cards section. Instead, this one is going to be, right. Instead, this one is going to be the image with the get started button. So what are we going to do for this image? Am I going to actually have two different PNGs that I style to be overlaid onto each other? So like one in front, one in back. And the one that I'm talking about, sorry for anyone who doesn't know this design. This is going to be the transaction history grid as well as the charts and reports kind of thing for transaction history. Again, these are placeholders of what the app currently looks like, except for this chart thingy. That was a placeholder because it's not even there at all. But apparently the designer was just sneaking in, hey, you guys need a chart. And he's expecting me to do the chart. Oh my gosh, these designers are so presumptuous. I kid. Anyway, moving on. So 2 images that I style to be layered on top of each other, or one image with transparency in between them that is just this. Oh, thank you so much for that, Drenti. Oh my gosh, and thank you for greeting it, Bot Gamey. You're the best. Goodbye. Oh. And I'm glad that that Dukasoft wasn't here to push the button, because I would have accidentally pushed the button on Dukabot. Okay. We are actually making pretty good progress though. Let's rerun the app just to see what the content looks like without all of the extra styling yet, while I chew on whether I'm going to have these as individual or if I'm going to have it as one image. Why did you open in that browser? Weirdo. Oh, I guess we can delete this image or message because it's not relevant. Don't worry, Dukabot. I did not ban you nor time out you. Just deleted your irrelevant message. I know. That was weird. All right. Yeah, I'm really curious how it's going to work to be able to size these images so that they all appear the same size without losing their aspect ratio. It's kind of like I'm going to need an overflow on all of the cards and have the image fit to the smaller of the width or the height so that they fit into the box in a proportion that looks like the rest of them. So that's going to be a fun challenge, I think, because all of these images here are the same size, regardless of what size the original image is. We can obviously achieve that by setting the container for these images to be the specific size, but I don't like hard coding image or sizing, but it might make sense for this situation. Okay. Whew. So there's our getting started button. Here's view transactions. Oh, I guess we still have the footer content as well. So my final decision is these are going to be two separate images that are going to be layered on top of each other. Maybe we can, if we happen to add animations to this, they would be subtle, but they would be there, and it might be just these two images fading in very slowly. So like you scroll down and they don't come from the top of the screen or the side of the screen, like, but more like just a subtle, I'm appearing, I'm here, hello. If you were here for Wednesday's, I think it was, stream, someone came in asking for feedback on their site, and I love the colors on it. I love the animations-ish, and we gave them some feedback, but that is inspiring me to add some animations to this. I just really don't want there to be too much noise, too much visual noise going on. But I do think that it would, the right amount would elevate this a bit. Yes. So it's just because Dukabot greets everyone that chats for the first time, which is really cool. Yeah, some fireworks and flashing lights. Maybe the pig starts dancing across the screen. That's what I mean. Very little noise, visual noise. Just nice, appealing, smooth lines. But yeah, Findle, Dukabot greeted a spammer bot or what are they called? I don't know. They probably have some term. The bots that come in and say buy viewers at this place. And I was like, that message isn't really relevant, so I'll just delete Dukabot's message. But don't worry, I did not ban Dukabot. I did not time out Dukabot. Dukabot's best bot. Why do you look like you have an extra space on the bottom, dear sir or madman? Because you do, you pickle. That's no fun. Reopen. But why? I thought that I got rid of all extra gaps. Now we just have a duck hand. Wow. Marquee is best. Unfortunately, they killed Blink. Font still works though. They didn't necessarily kill Blink. I mean, you just can't use Blink directly, but you can still make CSS animation that does the same effect. Figma. Can I get the piggy bank again, please? Hey, thanks. Big Gamey! Great stream earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know this amazing person, this is Big Gamey, aka Lee, aka Bit Baby. One of the best game dev streamers on the interwebs. Shout out Big Gamey. If you aren't following him, he works on a game he still does in the background somewhere. It'll be back. Works on a game called Homeward Hound, where you play as a dog that gets separated from his people. You have to make your way back. Adventures and stuff happens. And right now he's working on a racing game called Can You Beat You? I mean, Kanubitu. And it's really fun. It's a racing game where you go around the track once, and then on your second time around, your shadow car shows up. Like if you're doing time trials and you're trying to beat your own time, then you're racing against your shadow car next. So here is a clip. Thanks for pronouncing it correctly. I pronounced it both.
This Michael
hey, look, there it is.
puts work and love into
Homeward
his
Hound.
stream. Michael.
Hello, Michael.
Michael. This Michael.
All right,
I mean, I'll be
ready
called
to
worse,
provide
you can call me
assistance.
Michael if you like.
Like every time, Animated Realms just has something different to say about the archery game that's not what I'm asking it to say at all. But yeah, Nerdmind was calling Bit Gamey Michael, but Nerdmind's name, Nurkmind's real name is Michael or something. Something like that. No, but Bit Gamey just got here. Okay, let's finish up this last little bit. They look like they're all the same height, at least. So that's good thing number one. We won't have to worry about the sizing too much. Ah, his name is Michael, and he thought that my name was Michael too. Sounds like a song. Whenever I go out, The people always shout, "Hey, Michael!" And I'm like, my name's Lee. That rhymed. What were we missing? We need the footer still. Oh! That should have gotten you like 180,000 points for being in the air for so long and still hitting the target. That was awesome. Holy cow. Did you see that? I wish I... Oh, wait. Oh, I can't. Can I? I might be able to replay it. I need to go to this scene though, unfortunately. There's got to be a better way to be able to access this. I need to use Signal R is what I need. Manual game, can I replay? No. Dang. I think my replay button only works when I am doing a manual game. Oh, wait. Didn't I create a command to replay? Oh, you know what? It should be here if I did. Replay. Targeting replay. All right, so let me get back to our scene. Desktop. And try. Oh yeah, awesome. A clip is better than doing a command. But no, I cannot. Are you disabled or what? Yes. Yes. 2 clips. Archer of the Year. More clips. Well, Big Gamey, if I happen to be able to raid your stream, we know what clip is going to get played, or at least one of the 2 clips that are going to get played the next time that you are streaming during a time when I am finishing up my stream. But yeah, definitely check out Big Gamey. Fun times over on his stream. A million interactability things. So many hot keyword. I was going to say hot key and then keyword. But anyway, so many keyword triggers like bacon and ham and love and just a whole bunch of stuff. Even verbal keyword triggers that he uses on his stream that causes stream to make noises and interactability and just great times over on his stream. Fun times. So there is a shout out for him. Check him out if you aren't already checking him out. But this is, and we made a whole bunch of progress on the content itself. As soon as I finish getting the images for this part, which I did decide we're going to do 2 images and then we're just going to style them so that they're layered on top of each other. And then we do the footer content. Then we will work on the actual styling again. Oh, but we did finish a section. So let's do the minor commit for the, what is it called? The track transactions section. Added track transactions section content. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and push this so that it is in the repo. If anyone does want to check it out, again, you are always welcome to do any kind of contributing you want to the overall application. If you don't want to accidentally mess with the UI stuff, don't worry, this is in a branch. You can always clone the repo or fork the repo, make a branch, or do it however you do it to address any of the issues that we have in the GitHub repo, and then do a PR and I will review it. Only if you ever feel like it. Not as awesome as you, Thindle. If we were on Big Gamey stream, this would do a thing. But we're not. We're on my lame stream. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed your day here. I hope you had fun. Thank you for being here. I love hanging out with you guys. All the people that I was lurking on have gone offline. So on Friday we raided Instafluff, who is currently live, which I don't mind raiding the same person over and over and over. But I am also open to raid targets if you have any. I should consider 24-hour streams. There is never enough lane in my... So I am considering adding to my Monday, Wednesday, Friday streams the time that I normally do my day job. I have been really, really productive, so I kind of don't want to mess that up yet. But like, I'm considering doing my regular stream and then a quick break for all the stuff that I do after my stream, and then my day job for the rest of the day, which is only about 3 hours. But yeah, so it's a total of 5 hours, but I would still stop my regular stream so that that could be a VOD. I won't make VODs of my day job streams. TBD. Productive. Nope, I don't know that word. Kimmy says, also, if you could stream on the days that I don't instead of the days that I do, that would be great. I love my Tuesdays and Thursdays. Although, if you want, I can stream only on Tuesdays and Thursdays and make those my full day streams. Where those are 6-hour streams each day. But Findle streams on Tuesdays, so I don't want to step on his toes either. I don't want to step on either of your toes, ever. But Friday and Community Day, true. It's not a formula, it's something that I picked that happened to work while I was working at Sagetti, and then I kept the schedule after I stopped working at Sagetti. So I am malleable. I can move around as long as it's sometime between like no earlier than 8:30 and no later than 3:30. I'm pretty flexible, and skipping every other day so that I can feel like I have an entire day of just work, because I love being productive. And TBD's like, my toes are safe. He streamed at 5 a.m. my time. So definitely safe. Okay, anyway, I got it a nothing. I don't know. No one gave me a raid target, so raid Instafluff. We're raiding Instafluff. Okay, note that his stream is marked as for mature audiences, but he is just an overall fluffy kind of guy. If he curses, it happens. If his stream curses, it happens. If there's content on his stream that is not as wholesome, it happens. But most of his stream is absolutely wholesome, fun, laid back. He's just an awesome guy. So I'll be over there lurking on his stream. If Irish John actually does get well enough to stream today, I'll be lurking on his stream when he starts. I'll post a video, the VOD for this to YouTube at some point in time in the future. You can see it here. You can feel free to join our Discord if you're not already part of it and not already Discorded out. Definitely understand there's absolutely no requirement to or no push to. It's a really quiet Discord. We just have some really cool people on it that I love hanging out with. So, all right, that's it for me for today. See you again on Wednesday if you are happen to be here, or just whenever you happen to be here again. Ciao for now.